Learning more tonight about a Fort Wayne sports bar that was ordered by health officials to shut down. That sports bar, Mitchell's, is closed tonight after county health officials say they found several COVID-19 related violations.
ABC 21 has obtained documents of complaints filed with the health department against Mitchell's, some of them dating all the way back to June. Complaints about people not wearing masks, not social distancing, and the bar employees not enforcing those guidelines. ABC 21 reporter Carly Van Cleve spoke with some people who visited the bar recently to find out what they saw. Carly?
Brian, Krista, the inspection report from the health department states the owner willfully went against the governor's COVID-19 restrictions. Tonight, I wanted to get reaction and talked with people who defended Mitchell's because they think the state guidelines are too stringent. None, though, would go on camera with me. I also talked with customers who said during the recent visit, the restaurant was not following the rules.
Very packed. Everybody was like right next to each other. Ton of people around the bar. A lot of people, like most people, were not wearing masks.
Kara Stevens and Mary Drake say they both visited the bar within the last month.
It honestly just like felt like a normal, like non-COVID night at Mitchell's. And I had to weed through people just to get through. It wasn't like people were like spreading out or any like workers telling me to move or anything like that.
These documents reveal more than a dozen inspection reports based on complaints about breaking COVID-related restrictions. Inspectors notified the owner in writing that the business should cease and desist the unsafe practices, and that failing to do so would result in an emergency order to close. That brings us to Wednesday, the latest visit from the health department. The newest report states an inspector found violations again and told the owner to close, but he repeatedly refused. In fact, Wednesday night by phone, he told me he was staying open. But Thursday, a lawyer representing the owner of Mitchell's released a statement saying they have attempted to follow the COVID-19 restrictions. And the owner said, quote, "We are currently cooperating with local officials in order to reopen and provide excellent food, hospitality, and entertainment for our faithful customers. We have over 50 employees and their families have been hit extremely hard this year with the previous mandatory shutdowns. We will do everything we can to stay open for our families." Drake and Stevens say after what they saw at Mitchell's, they won't be going back.
People are not taking it seriously at all whatsoever, which is very frustrating. I want to be able to trust the business I'm going into, that they are following guidelines, they care about people's safety.
We reached out to the owner of Mitchell's for response to the closure, but he said he wasn't available for an interview today. He continues to receive a lot of support in Facebook comments, people saying in general, if someone doesn't agree with how he runs his business, don't go there.